Today, we're gonna test and review the Core Duty Belt. So today we're going to talk about the Core Duty Belt and what really sets this apart from other duty belts. And we're also going to give it a good test to put it through its paces to see if it holds up to what we think it should hold up to. What are some of the specifics on the Core Duty Belt? Well, the Core Duty Belt is about 2¼ inches, and it is a dual belt system where it comes with this inner and outer belt for it. So let's start off by talking about the inner belt. Well, the inner belt to the duty belt actually has this really cool webbing on the inside, which is actually like a scuba grade nylon inside here. And it's really cool because when you actually start to tighten this up through its patented ratchet system, you don't get any bunching up on here where you're getting two layers kind of overlapping each other. It's just this nylon scuba webbing that just kind of gets in there and kind of folds over itself, and you kind of don't even notice that it's there. The outer belt section does come in 3 different finishes, I guess you'd say. We've got this smooth leather, there's a basket weave, and there's that tactical kind of nylon portion to it. The buckle is in 2 different types. There's this type here where it's kind of a solid one, and then one with kind of more open holes into it. The buckle is a lightweight aluminum, and it actually has 2 ratchets on it, unlike the standard concealed carry core belt that I always wear. The 2 do work independently from each other when it comes to loosening it or removing it, which helps really when you're taking it on and off, and when wrestling with an opponent, the opponent can't simply just hit that one switch and the whole belt comes off. They do have to both be depressed in order for you to unlock this belt from the system. If it's just one or the other, it's a no-go. Core uses what they call a power core inside here, and that's what gives it that 30-pound load rating and helps it keep very rigid, as you can see here. And so when you've got all of your gear placed all over your belt here, you don't get any of that sagging or that drooping that you would get with some of the more traditional belts. So these actually come as one long length, and they're actually cut and adjustable from 24 to 48 inches. And all you do is remove the buckle, cut it down to size, put it all back together again, and you're ready to rock and roll. And the MSRP on this is only 160 bucks. And one of the greatest parts about this is manufactured all here in the United States. So the first test that we're gonna do with this is the snap test. And what this is meant to do is more simulate kind of like a grappling event that you may have as an officer. So what we're gonna do is we've got it tied up here to the steel beams, and I'm just gonna snap and thrash it a lot, kind of like someone is grabbing onto your gear or onto your belt, and they're really trying to pull you down or snap you with it. Ready? Here we go. Whew, that didn't budge at all. All right, let's see if the ratchet still works. Ratchet is flawless. Not a skip, not an anything. Let's see if we can visually see if maybe it made some marks in there. None. You have no idea where we even did that. So yeah, I didn't feel any slipping from the ratchets or anything like that. So it held up flawlessly on this test. So let's move on to our next test. All right, so the next test that we're gonna do is we're gonna put a lot of weight on here to really stress out this ratcheting system. So basically what we are gonna do is we are gonna take this 54-pound cinder block, and yes, I weighed it, it is 54 pounds. We're gonna take this 54-pound cinder block and we're gonna start to ratchet it up off the floor and see if we get these ratcheting channels to fail at all. All right, you ready? Here we go. Right? I mean, that's 54 pounds. It doesn't seem to be stretching. It's not making any weird noises, right? So it's holding 54 pounds of static weight on this ratcheting system alone. There is no inner belt to this right now. This is all 100% being held up by this ratcheting system here. And that was basically, we wanted to see, would it hold this static weight like this? Not that you're ever gonna be putting this kind of weight on this belt, but would it hold? And I think it did exactly that, it held. Let's just tempt fate here a little bit, right? Why not? I got it up here. I mean, what can I say? Let's go ahead and take it down and see if it changed anything in this ratchet system, or if we can see any marring in the metal or the plastic that's on here. Nothing. You see nothing compromised in the plastic here. Let's go ahead and ratchet in. Not a darn thing. It ratchets just fine all the way from front to back. You don't even notice any stuttering or anything like that in the ratchet system. So it didn't compromise this belt one bit, having a 54-pound cinder block not only hanging from it, but also swinging from it. So you're safe if you have a 54-pound cinder block swinging from your waist. All right, cool, man. I think that passed what we needed to do. All right, so since it passed the 2 tests that we wanted to put it through, we had the, I don't know if we'd call it a genius idea, but we had an idea of hanging it, and I'm going to hang off of it. So that is going to be an undisclosed amount of weight hanging on it. No, that's gonna be about 185 pounds hanging down on this. And I'm gonna try to take my feet off the ground and see if we can get this to fail or to be compromised with 185 pounds hanging on it. So let's see what we got, see if I land on my butt. All right, you guys ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I felt nothing, no slipping, no nothing. Let's take it down. Dude, that is insane. Smooth as silk all the way through all of the ratchets. If we look at it again, you know, having that metal on the plastic, you have no idea where I even ratcheted that down because it didn't compromise any of that plastic ratcheting material that's on there. And again, it's still just as smooth as it was before, getting those ratchets to come in and out. So it passed the tests we originally intended it to go through, and then our genius ideas to hang from it test too. So I think it passed everything we needed to pass. All right, so let's talk about the pros and cons to the Core Duty belt. Let's start off with the pros. Well, the micro adjustment of this ratcheting system is awesome. It has these really short kind of clips, so we can micro adjust it as we're going. So if maybe one day we've got a certain setup here, and then the next day we add or take something off of it, it's just as simple as using this ratcheting system to fine tune and fine adjust. Which brings me to one of my other pros is sometimes when we stand up, me especially, when I stand up, I like to tighten my belt really tight so it doesn't feel like my pants are dragging down with it. But then when I go to sit down, I get that, I don't know, muffin top sort of thing where everything wants to spill over the belt and things feel too tight. It's kind of squishing my guts in. And it's literally as simple as just pressing that and it expands that open. And then as soon as you get out of your car or your chair, it's as simple as pushing it back together again, popping it to release it, pushing it to open it again. So that fine-tune adjustment and that really quick adjustability going from a stand or a sit, maybe potentially in your patrol car or something like that, is as simple as just hitting the dual releases on here and having it release to open and expand or push it back in to tighten it up. Which brings me to another point, is kind of that cut to fit that it's got. And the fact that we can cut to fit it a little bit overlapping, so we give ourselves a little bit extra on here, and when we lose a little bit of weight, we can simply just cut it down and kind of put it back together again, and we've now cinched it down to fit our waist at that loss of weight. Now, that brings me to the other point. If you gain a lot of weight, not so much. You can't really add more material onto it, but that's why we just give ourselves a little bit of overlapping here, so that even if we do gain a couple of pounds, we can simply just expand it out and we've still got good positive adjustability on here. And the rigidity. I mean, how do we talk about the strength and rigidity over the tests that we just did? The video kind of speaks for itself as far as its strength, but also this holdout rigidity. It doesn't make your firearm and holster feel like it's gonna flop around every time you go to run or move, or if you potentially get it snagged in your patrol car, it's not gonna feel like it wants to rip this belt off. You can kind of unsecure it and get your way out of your patrol car. So those are the pros to it. Now let's talk about the cons. To be honest with you, I haven't found any cons. Yeah, I mean, I've tried to struggle for some time now to really try to figure the cons out of a system like this. And I can't really think of it, to be honest with you. So for me, it's kind of all pros for this system. Now, I guess we could say the one con would be if we did gain some weight, do we have to now buy a new inner belt or buy a new outer belt for it? Potentially, but that would have to be a pretty dramatic amount of weight if we cut this with a little bit extra to buy us some of that room. As you know, it's not cheap nor easy to make videos like this, so we are still looking for sponsors for our video. And remember, it doesn't have to be sponsors only in the gun world. It can be sponsors from a multitude of different things, and any little bit will help us out. So please reach out to me at any point in time on any of our social medias to let us know that you're interested in sponsoring our videos in the future. All right, everybody, thank you very much for watching this video, and we hope you found it informative. And if you know anybody that's running a different duty belt or even running this duty belt, please leave us some comments down below. And if you guys found this video helpful, don't forget to like and share and pull that trigger on the subscribe button and hit the notifications bell so you get notified when we drop other cool videos like this. And don't forget to jump onto our website at d5rangesmarengo.com and check us out on Facebook and Instagram. As always, thank you very much for watching and have a great day.